For cheap and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins, check out EasyMut.com and use code SPORTS for 5% off your entire order. Guys, it's Duke back here from SportsGamers.com. In today's Madden 21 tip, I'm going to break down the best run defense in Madden 21 that you can use to easily stop every single run in the entire game. Guys, I know the run game can be difficult to stop, but this is a very easy setup. It's very user-friendly, and it's going to lead you to great success. I'm going to be looking at the big nickel over G formation. You can find this formation in many playbooks throughout the game. Personally, I like to run it in the 4-6 defensive playbook. I just like a lot of the formations in that playbook, so it works great for me. What you're going to want to do, what I recommend doing, is I like to put safeties, in at the linebacker position. Now, if you do have a really good linebacker like Bobby Wagner, then yes, I'd probably leave him in the game. But I will say most of the time I definitely do recommend having your safeties in because, honestly, most of the time you're not going to really have someone most likely as good as a Bobby Wagner for the linebacker position. But if you do, feel free to leave him in. Now, I also like to put linebackers at D-end if your D-ends aren't that fast. And sometimes, I'll even put my D-ends at D-tackle just to I like to get more speed on the field. Now, guys, I do have a defensive guide out for the big nickel over G on SportsGamers.com. I'll pin the link to it in the comments, but in the guide we break down, how to blow up every run in the game, easy blitz setups that are very hard to block, great coverage Ds to combat a lot of the meta offenses passing-wise, and we show you guys how to disguise everything. So if you're looking to get better at defense, there's no better guide for you guys to look at. It's pretty cheap too, only $17.99. Again, make sure to check it out. And if you're enjoying my content on YouTube, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss out on any of our videos. So, you can really use the setup I'm about to show you from any defense. I'm just going to show it to you from cover 2 man because it's, it's very easy, very easy to pull off. And, the coverage is very safe. So, a lot of people are running stretches and dives on their center. It's super easy to blow up. Like I said, the setup is beyond easy. All you have to do is to pinch your defensive line. To do that, I just hit the D-line audible, which is to the left on the D-pad, and then down on the left analog stick. I like to crash them up, which again is left on the D-pad, and then up on the right analog stick. Again, it says line outside. Now, past this, you can do whatever coverage adjustments you want. Like you can use shading. You can show blitz if you want. You can change up people in the zones. It really doesn't matter, but what I like to do is I like to use this linebacker right here, who's actually a safety because I put Jamal Adams in here, and I put him on a blitz angle, and I stand right over the center a few yards back. So at the snap, guys, you're basically going to see a hole open up right where the center is, and it doesn't matter if they have the run going to the left or the right, but basically you're just going to run right through that hole, just like this, and you're going to make the tackle in the backfield, just like that. Very, very easy. You can go for the hit stick if you got a big hitter there. You can click off if you're more comfortable with the computer making the tackle. You could go for a conservative tackle. It really doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, guys, you can see you just run right through that gap directly over the center, how the center goes to the right, out to block the DT, and we just run right through there to make the tackle in the backfield. Again, we're going to look at this from the safety's perspective just so you can see how it looks from the defensive side of the ball. Just so you see how really easy this is, guys. You just literally just run right through into the backfield to make that tackle and blow it up for a loss. It's very, very easy, very, very consistent. I'm doing it once or twice more, and then I'm going to move on to some different runs. So again, guys, look, stretch. Go ahead and pinch the D-line, crash them out. Go ahead and put ourselves on a blitz angle. Like I said, other than that, all the other adjustments you do are up to you. Like if you want to, use different coverage adjustments or put your safeties and spies for better run D overall. Whatever you want. Really doesn't matter, but this is all you have got to do. See how easy that is? Now, I would recommend when running this defense, you should have auto flip on so that if they're trying to flip their offense and all that, we'll flip right with them so they don't get a numbers advantage, to the strong side. Just basic stuff with run D. I always recommend having auto flip on. All right, so one more time with this stretch, then we'll move on to some different runs. Again, it is important to have your user on a blitz angle. It's going to make it easier to get in the backfield at the snap, just like that. Very, very easy, like I said, consistent, especially if you put a safety in there that's fast and that, can get in there and hit. Going to be very, very hard to get any sort of running gains going. Now, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really matter what type of stretches they do. It could be other formations. Let's just make sure we have auto flip on. I need to turn it on because, like I said, auto flip should definitely be on when you're running this defense. And again, You're going to go ahead and just look to blow this up. So here, you guys can see now they're going to, let's say they try to run to the left or whatever. Again, same thing. It doesn't really make a difference whether they run left or right, as long as you just use the setup and, get some reps in practice mode. I definitely practice this in practice mode versus various runs and formations just to get the feel for it. But you should be able to get it down within a few minutes, honestly, at the most. And once you do that, it's just so easy. So again, you just blow it up. Very, very easy. Loss of a couple yards as usual. Now, so that's, kind of looking at stretches. If you're wondering how it does against single back, it's pretty much the same thing. Doesn't matter if it's single back, single back under center, like I forms. Either way, it's going to be easy to shoot into that backfield, and they're going to be having major problems running the ball on you with this setup. So again, same thing. Make sure you stand over the center a couple yards back. If you're too far up, sometimes you get picked up, and if you're too far back, sometimes you can't get in there fast enough. So you just got to, like I said, get a few reps in, get used to this, and then it's going to be pretty much muscle memory at that point. So easy to do. Again, we're in the backfield, and we're blowing it up. So now that you've seen a few different examples of stretch, I do want to show some dives and different little variations of runs. So you guys can see it's not, it's not just strictly stretch. It's, pretty much global run defense. All right, so let's look at dive now. Dive is pretty much the same thing for the most part. You will have to, obviously, if they have a lead blocker, you will have to deal with the lead blocker, but still, it's the same gap you're going to try to come in with your user, and we'll show a few examples. So I'm going to go ahead, just snap the ball. So we got dive, bam. Now you guys can see, like I said, the lead blocker is there. So if he ends up blocking you, it's not that big of a deal. All you want to, first of all, if you can get by the lead blocker and make the tackle in the backfield, that's great. But even if you can't, what you want to do is at least take him out. So at that point, since you take him out, you got a good, solid run D. So you should be, see right here, we're making contact 2 to 3 yards. Won't give up more than a few yards a pop. Now, obviously, if you if you are able to get by the lead blocker, that's great, because obviously at that point, you will be able to, if you're by the lead blocker, get the tackle in the backfield. Also, if you want to spy the safeties, they'll react to the run a little bit better. So at the end of the day, it's not that huge of a deal if you don't make the tackle yourself. As long as you just get the lead blocker out of the way, that's really all we're going for. But yes, if you can get in the backfield and pretty much blow it up like that, or at least at the line of scrimmage, that is great. But as long as you take out the fullback, you will see that, you will do a good job. You definitely can run this from different plays too. So if you want to run cover 4 palms or whatever, so that, your safeties play the run fits a little bit better, you could do that. And like I said, it doesn't really matter the formation. It could be a dive from eye tight, strong eye, whatever. Same thing with stretch. It's literally the same gap you're trying to hit. You just pinch your D-line, crash them outside or out, use this linebacker in a blitz angle, and you just look to come in the backfield just like that. You guys see, again, the fullback kind of knocked me out of the way, but because I was able to at least take him on and, get him out of the play, my defense was able to clean up the rest for me and, got, very solid defense again. Pretty much a yard or 2 at the most. Yet, I've been able to blow it up basically myself 1 out of the, 3 or 4 times I ran it. The other couple times, all I did was just like this. I just took on the fullback, got him out of the equation, and at that point, the way the run game is right now, if you can just do that and you have a decent D-line, you're definitely going to get some sheds. They're not going to be able to really go anywhere too much. Now, this run defense definitely does work against shotgun too. You can use it against inside zones, traps, etc., etc. It works on powers. It pretty much works on everything. There are little variations here and there that you'll want to do depending upon some of the different runs, some of the different formations. There are variations, don't get me wrong, but this is pretty much a global run defense you can use. And guys, if you do get our Big Nickel Over G guide, which again, I'm going to pin the link to it in the comments. I do show all the variations to stop all the runs in the game in that guide, whether it's, stretched out like I showed here, shotgun, runs, powers, traps, whatever it is, we got the answer for it. So hope you guys enjoyed this tip, man. Stick with us. We got some more great content coming soon. Until then, I'm out of here.